Alrighty. Yo, it's your boy Super Daddy Diode. It is Saturday, and we're gonna be doing this thing we call Let Me DNB, where I make music, I make drum and bass. You can catch this episode and many more on turpboxrecordings.co.uk. And make sure you grab some merch on alexdowd.com. On the vertical doesn't work, but it's all good in the hood, G. Um, yeah, so a couple quick things. Last Wednesday night was a pretty early Let Me DMB, so I missed two whips that I want to hear today. There are new tracks coming out on Warlock Audio, so I want to hear those. And then just gonna hop in to making some beats and recording some tutorial type stuff. So today will be pretty boring. It'll be short but boring, but we will get through it because this is part of the work, man. It's not just fucking throwing loops down or throwing samples or throwing presets or making, the actual making of the sounds, making of the tracks is a long drawn out process. One song can take, if on a good day, a song could take what's up, Sean? Top of the morning, Funko baby. Sometimes some songs can take for 4 hours. There might be some tracks that take 20 hours. Like whatever it is, we do it for the love, not for anything else. So I'm gonna hop in here, and then I'll repost this on YouTube so people can learn. The kids can hop on there and get a head start on how to get to the next phase of their production skills. In FL25, and then I guess you can kind of take the same ideas and put them into Ableton and others. If you're gonna start off with anything, I suggest you start off with Ableton, but I like FL, so it's all good. A little ASMR with the coffee. So disclaimer: this Friday I got a new track coming out on VTO, so you'll see the Radio Bomb or the Radial EP with the title track Radio Bomb. My God, I can't even speak. It's too early. Sigil, what's up, bro? Yeah, so the new track Radial Bomb will be on the Radial EP on VTO Records, dropping this Friday. It was featured on Eat Brain Radio's latest episode, so shout out to Sash. And so that's freaking awesome. And it's got a track Radio Bomb, the title track. It's got the track Flux, and then Brain Tag, which was featured on the Center Linked various artists LP. Great story behind it as far as like the theme goes, and hopefully we can get some more done over the next more promotions done over the next week or so. Otherwise, it will be out on Friday. Hey, baby. Yep. Today is my friend Put's daughter's birthday. Her name is Sydney. Got Valerie here in the back. And so happy birthday to her. We'll be only on this for a little bit. And then we will head over to their house and party it up, eat some good food, give some gifts. Hopefully there's ice cream because it's hot and all that good stuff. So shout out to the crew. Shout out to everybody. Let's hop right into the doll, kid. Full screen. Let's see. All right, if this works, let's see. So, FL Studio, we got it open here now. This is the first. Once you open it, you got FL, and you can launch all this stuff. We're gonna go with empty for this case, and then eventually you'll save it. So your preset or your preset rack or your template rack will be here. But for now, empty. Let's do this thing at 174 BPMs, and then the tempo controller is up here. You can right click it. You can type in a value. You can hit a value that they already have preset. You can do half speed, full, or whatever of whatever's there. But I'm just gonna go ahead and drag it, click, drag, and go up because that's what I've been doing for years. So now my set is let's see. Yeah. So my playlist is set with nothing on there, and we're gonna set up the playlist first, and then have that link to our mixing rack. So this is the playlist, and if you don't have this open, you can open it by hitting this little thing right here. Where's my playlist? This right here. Kind of changed the way they looked. They set up the top here, but anyways, we're not gonna mess with that. Let's go ahead and open up mini meters. There you go. There you go. That's good. Check, check, mic check. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and set up I usually set up my top with a reference. So my first track is a reference. Then I set up my groups. So my drums bus. Drums bus. I do a kick and snare. Kick bus. I'll put 2 kicks usually, because if you want to layer anything, you can do it within the groups, which we'll go into. But I'll hold shift, click again here, and make my snare bus, and then add my snare layers. Now each of these will be a mixer track, so if you plan on having more layers that you're going to control individually as far as EQing or whatever post processing, you need to do it on separate tracks. Otherwise, you can go ahead and just group. You can go ahead and right click and group with above track, and everything in the group will go to this mixing channel, which we'll see in a bit. I set up a tops bus, and let's do hats, rides, shakers, and loops. We got to use loops to make the production process a little bit easier. All right, so this is all my drums, and now we'll go into bass bus. I'll do a sub first. Sub bus first. We got a bass bus, and then I'll do mids. This is for all our mid-range Neurofunk basses. I'll rename these as we lay out a track. Yeah, man. So fast. Yeah, I know. Been typing for a long time. Mids. Let's go synths. We'll name this synth bus. I saw it, baby. Synth bus. We got piano. Let's do keys. Leads, if any. Atmosphere. Valerie, can you turn that down, please? Atmosphere, pads, and ARPs, whatever. Then I'll go into a FX bus. Actually, I'll do FX. FX booms, so anything with bass. We'll go into this. White noise, because you kind of EQ it the same. White noise, booms, impacts, which will be white noise, impacts, crashes, and let's see, weird stuff. And I always now do a backing background for like effect sounds, and then I'll do a vocal bus, and we'll just do VX1, VX2, VX2, and VX3. All right, cool. What's up, Mel? How's it going, Melinda? Just here making some setting up my track for a Neurofunk song. So we're starting from scratch. So now we have all of our tracks named. So now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and just link all the tracks to the mixing channel. So if you want to look at the mixer, you can hit F9 or just click on this little thing here, and this is your mixer. And now FL Studio, I thought it was gonna be on the next version, but it's on this one here. They only start off with 16 channels, which is great. And now you can add on as you go, which also looks weird if you're used to FL, because usually this would be filled up all the way. So, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and link all of these tracks to these mixing channels. So I'm just gonna click in. Actually, we're gonna minimize everything so we can see it all. I'm gonna click and drag, left click and drag all the way down. Then I'm gonna right click on any one of these tracks here and go to track mode, go to audio track, and just start with insert one. So then now insert one and track one are the same. So if we go into the mixer, track one, insert one, there you go. So now it's all linked into the mixer, and now I'm just gonna color coordinate this stuff. Right click on reference, change color to whatever color you want. I usually use like a whitish, and the reference is where I would put in my reference track, whatever it may be. Now my drums, I usually layer them all the same. So I'll click and drag all my drums, right click, change color, and I always go with blue. I don't know why. It can be any shade of blue, but I do blue. So I hit accept, and now they're all color coordinated. And then in the mixer, they're already set up there too. Baseline, what color can we go with? Red. I usually go with red. So right click, change color, red. Hit this arrow so it'll change them all. If you don't, then you'll get this fade amongst them all. Watch, accept, and you get a little bit of fade. It looks cool, but I don't want that. So let's go change color, and make sure you choose your color and hit this arrow. So we're gonna choose red and hit this arrow and hit accept. Done. Synth bus, I usually go with pink because synths and melodies are pretty, so why not? So let's go with this one. Accept. Effects. Yeah, baby. Skirts. Sound it out. No, in this case, it's a tricky one, so it'd be K.
So SKRT.
Almost. SKIRT. All right, so we're gonna right click on this, change color, and we'll use brown. And then for vocals, we'll go with green. Right click, change color, green. Light green. Boom, accept. All right, so now in your mixing channel, they're all set up. If you want to change your view of your mixer here, click on this thing. This drop down, go with a compact, and it'll show as much as it can in this main screen. So let's drag this over, and this is everything that's going on in my mixing channel now. So reference white, blue, red, pink, brownish, or bronze, or whatever the hell that is, and green, and it matches everything here. But what I do to kind of group these in the mixing, in the mixer itself, you can right click and add a separator, and it'll create a thicker line between your, in front of the channel that you're right clicking on. So separate that one, separate that one, and right click, separate, right click, separate, right click, separate. Yeah, today's all about just setting up boring stuff, but essential. And I'll use specific plugins as well, not the FL stuff. Sorry. All right, so back into this thing. So now we've got our mixer set up. And I like to differentiate the buses, the main buses. So I'll change the color on those to a darker version of whatever it's at. So I just right click on it, change color, drag this down, accept. I'm gonna do that for the bass bus as well. Let's see. And the vocal bus. All right. Next thing is to now route your channels to your main buses. Everything right now is going right out to the mixer. You can tell by this down arrow and this little wheel here. So the wire is going all the way down into the main rack, and we're going to change that now. So I'm going to widen this a bit just so we can see it more. And I've got a kick bus. So I've got two kicks. So I'm going to hold shift and control on my next kick. It'll select both channels. And then I'm going to right click on this arrow up to enable send from these. But I'm going to route to this track only. Boom. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the snare. So shift, you can click and drag. Shift, command, or control. And then go ahead and right click and route to this track only. And the same thing for the tops. So I'll do shift, command, or control, click and drag. And then I'm going to go to the arrow up and route to this track only. Mom, I'll call you in 2 minutes. And the tops, I will route to the drum bus. Route to this track only. Snare and the kick will route to the kick snare, and I use that for side chaining reasons. So route to this track only. And the kick and snare, I parallel it to the master. You're not really supposed to, but I do. And then I will bring it right here to the drum bus. Right click and route to this track. So now technically my kick snare should be going to the drum bus, and my tops bus should be going to the drum bus as well, and it is. And my drum bus is going out to the master. You can create a pre-master channel if you want. I'm not going to do that. All right, so let's do the same thing with the mids here. The rest will be a little bit easier. This track only. I got subs going out. Yep, that's good. Sometimes some people actually kind of glue these together. I find that if your sub is just like a straight sine wave, not really necessary. You can sidechain it separately, and you might want to anyways, but because your kick might have a longer bass in it or a longer subtone, and you have to sidechain it separately from your mid range, because it's gonna if you have a longer kick that you're sidechaining by the volume level, and it's gonna sidechain the sub layer out of, or that length from the bass bus that has no sub. I mean, what's the point? Really, you just want your sidechaining is so the sounds don't clash. All right, and then I'll do the same thing with the synths. And this will be sped up in post. So all of our tracks are routed to the buses, and that's good. And then Now I'm going to go ahead and just compact this, take a look at it, and see where I'm going to go next. Next, I will set up my sidechain. So, rule of thumb for everybody would be sidechain your kick and snare over everything, so it's loud. But just be aware that if you're gonna have a rising kick and snare, you might have to add an additional kick, so it doesn't really sidechain all like your synths and everything when you're creating tension or a buildup in a track. But in this case, we're just gonna go ahead and click on the kick and snare and just sidechain it to everything you want to duck. So I'm gonna sidechain it to the tops, sidechain it to the sub. Sidechain it to the bass. You're gonna right click. So you just right click on this arrow up and sidechain, left click on sidechain to this track. We're gonna do the same thing here. Sidechain to this track. Right click, sidechain to this track. Okay, we're good. That's good. And then we'll add our effects. So now let's just go ahead and we kind of have everything set up. I'm gonna go ahead and add some things to my master. I suggest you get these. So I typically get a Julian on there to check my loudness. I'll get Voxango's span, and I'll set it to, we won't get into this, but I'll set it to mid side mode, and then Vision 4X. So whatever analyzers you use, you put on the master, and I typically, that's how I run it. Sometimes I'll put a clipper, most times I don't. Most of my channels will be clipped. So my drums bus will have a clipper on there. So I'm gonna use what's up, Futch? What the fudge is going on, bro? And then so I'll go ahead and now on my drums bus, I'll add a clipper. I'm gonna left click and add free clip. I suggest you get that one or any other clipper, but free clip is good because you can set it from hard to soft and all that. But I'm gonna leave it on hard for now. I'm just same thing with pretty much most of my channels. But for the setup, I will do it just for these. Sub bass as well. Free clip. Now you could save a mixing channel to set it up from the jump, but I found that when you do that, it actually changes the color and everything to whatever you saved it as. So I just leave it alone, and I just, you know, have my template set up like we're doing now. Synth bass. You can use FL soft clipper, which isn't bad, but yeah, FL free clip. All right, cool. So all my main channels have a clipper on there. Now I'm going to set up, I've already got my sidechain set up from kick and snare. As you can see here, we already did that. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a tool to sidechain with. So I'm going to add a duck. So after the clipper, I'll add duck. So the idea is it'll clip, it'll be at that level, and then you add duck to even like cut it out more. I think if you duck before, I guess it'll duck and then catch whatever is clipping after. So I don't know. I don't really know like which is the best way to go, but that's how I've been doing it. So let's go ahead and hit enter duck. I have a preset in duck that I've set up, but you can just go ahead and set your trigger mode to sidechain. Take your smoothing off. This you'll fix as you go. Yeah, baby. I love you too, honey. we're gonna start getting ready soon, okay? And to choose your side chaining channel, your trigger channel, hit this little. Actually, hit this one here. Take this off. So hit this cogwheel so you can show this layer here. Then choose your plugin options. Go to processing. Right click on your sidechain and choose your input. Now, if you've got a bunch of stuff routed to this channel, you might see more, but you can just choose whatever you want to actually sidechain the sound. If you don't choose anything, it will sidechain itself and it'll just sound weird. So now my kick and snare is going to be going into the bass. And you would do that into every channel that you want to sidechain. And you can do that with different frequencies and different types of things, but we're just going to do it with a kick and snare for now so we can set up the beginning of our track. So cogwheel, plugin options, processing, right click, kick and snare. So you see in this case, you have all these mids and everything. That's just everything that's being routed to the channel itself. So we're going to choose kick and snare. We'll do the same thing for everything as we go. So now into making a quick drop, I guess. So you've got your for the newbies and the advanced, you should organize your stuff as best as you can. But really, you'll start off with this this browser here, which you can find by hitting this little arrow. I mean, this little folder and sounds. Yep. Go to your browser and look up your packs. I have mine in a sound bank, and I bought a bunch of packs over the years. And we're going to start off with, let's look at Blackout's latest sample pack. And if you want to zoom into your playlist, you just click and drag that, or you click and drag this to go up and down. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and just choose some drums and drum hits and go to kicks. Whatever you want. We're just going to randomly throw some stuff. It's just to get an idea. And you find a kick that you like, and you can change it after the fact. I like this one, short, thick, and it's got some high end on it, so that's good. So I'm gonna layer that. I'm gonna click and drag and bring it over into this, and this is your clip. You can click and drag your clip to make it longer or shorter, cut stuff out, and then in here, if we zoom in and zoom in, you'll see these little carrots or little corner pieces. This is so you can set up your fade of the volume of the track. So we're going to fade that out just so it doesn't click at the end. And I'm going to do a regular kick snare pattern. Probably already, hopefully you already know how to do that, but all right, let's go with that one. Click and drag this over to your snare. And I'm going to do the same thing, just cut this at the end. And you can drag this here to set up your curve and get it even tighter. And if you click on a clip and you click it over here, it'll be the same clip. Now, if you drag this over and you click it again, you get a brand new, well, it's the same clip, just the same look as far as like how long it is. But we're just going to do this. So we're going to do a little 2-bar loop. And to copy, you can hold control, click and drag over everything you want to copy. You can hold shift and click and drag, and it will click and drag your instance. You can also double click and drag this here and hit Control B, and you'll duplicate everything that's within this little marker throughout the whole track. And it's not going to work because of how I have something set up here. on my OBS. But yeah, you can technically hit Control B and it should or Command B, and it should just duplicate. I don't know what's going on, but it should. It did in FL24. They changed a couple little things. I don't know if they're just still doing updates, but it's weird. So now I've got my kick and snare. I forgot to put a clipper on my master. Free clip. And my kick is going there. My kick is going to that. Kick is going here. I'm going to take this off. And if you want to, I noticed that when I opened up FL25, something happened. With Corax, what's up, homie? You're at work? Well, that's that. I'm here doing work. I'm here putting in that work. Or trying to. I'm trying to figure out why FL is like acting up as far as like the audio levels go. So we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and just click. I'm going to hold Shift, Control, or Command, click and drag over everything. I'm just going to bring the volume down. Let's see, minus, let's say 7 dB. I typically would never do this, but I'm getting a weird sound coming out of the channels than I've have in the past. So on my buses, let's bring those back up. So let's go to reset, right click, reset, right click, reset, right click, reset. Let's see this. Okay. All right, so my buses I'll leave the same. Right click and reset, right click and reset, and that'll bring it back to the default state. So, and this is going to be that's so far. Now if we got a loop here, sometimes I'll put them in the loop if it's got like kick, snare, drums, and percussion. If it's just like a tops, so this is BSEs. We're just going to randomly choose a top. That's fine. So I'm going to load this into the playlist, and this is at 172 BPMs. So what I'm going to do, since my track is at 174, I'm going to double click it, right click on the time, left click on auto detect, and type in the BPM. 172. So if you know the BPM, you can do that. Or if it's within four bars and you know that it's like cutting at the right times, you can right click and hit 4 bars and it'll fill in the 4 bars. In this case, I couldn't do that because I can tell here at the end of the track, this right here, there's a little bit of a tail. So when Final Fix was done with this, he left a tail on it. So we're going to go ahead and just leave that the way it is. And if you want to cut any of your samples, you can choose this slice tool by hitting C, or I just click up here and choose a slice. And in the past, you would have to click and drag to make a line, but now FL25 has it, so you can just click and it cuts it wherever you want. And a good rule of thumb is at the end of each sample that you cut, kind of tail it off, even at the beginning, just to remove any clicks that there may be. So you're going to just fade it out slightly. And now we've got so my tops bus needs to be raised up. because it's a bus. I'm going to add a clipper and then another duck to side chain my tops bus. And we're going to see what the side chaining actually does. So let's go to kick snare. That's already there. Cogwheel, this processing, right click, kick snare. And we're going to take a look at the side chaining. So this is my kick and snare. And this is what it's doing to the track. Now smoothing allows for this little audio. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Right there. See how big it has to be to kind of fill the screen. Right there. Okay. All right. So this is duck, and my trigger mode is set to China and to side in. My trigger level set there. I take the smoothing off. And the amount that you want to control the volume reduction is all the way. So I want to control it all the way. So now. So I've got no high end coming out when the kick and the snare hit. In this case, my kick and snare are the same length. If they're not and you want to tailor it, you'll have to sidechain your kick and snare separately. But in this case, it's fine. Okay. And since my hats are so low in volume, I'm going to raise them up. This is my mom. Hi, Mama Benzion. How are you? Awesome. No, just so you can get out. But yeah, cool. Sweet. We're come chill. I think she's turning 10.
Or 11. Because I think she was only 10.
Or 11. Sydney. Yep. Okay, yeah, we're gonna start getting ready soon. All right, I love you, Ma. Okay. Yeah, around that. Yep. I mean, it starts at 1 and it only takes a half hour to get over there. I don't want to get there too early. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Cool. All right, let's keep this going. So we got our kick and snare. Let's see. Simple stuff. It's all good. All right, so now we'll go ahead and look at Valerie. All right, let's see here. Valerie, are you done? Are you done with your bowl? Then put it in the sink. All right, now let's go ahead and I want to layer another hat. So let's get some. Let's go ahead and left click, create a pattern called hats. I'm gonna put it into the hats group. So let's go to here, right click, insert one, right click on your track and group with above. And now anything that's audio will play in here. But for this case, I'm doing this for organization. And I'm going to click and put my hats MIDI in there. I'm going to double click to go into the pattern. And FL kind of changed the way it looks. But we're going to choose this here. And I'm going to find some hats from the same pack. We're just going to use the same pack. until we create a bass. And I'm going to click and drag my sound here. Make sure there's no looping on the sound. And I'm going to add another hat. So let's go to Cinematics Free Pack or whatever and find a hat. Let's see. Drum one shots. Let's go to symbols. Let's go to with a closed hat. And choose that one. Now let's see. Making your hits. Play the... Let me go ahead and add a ride. And yeah, I'll just leave it like that for now. I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna click and drag on these little selection things. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my mixer, go to my hats, and hit Command L. Command L, and now all of these samples that I've popped in here to this MIDI rack or my sequencer are now linked to 12. So that's that. So now if you hear this, you see they're all going up there. Now I'm going to want to control this right from the jump and just EQ out using Pro Q4 the low end, just in case. So it catches any bits and pops from the sampling process. And now, simple stuff. And I'm gonna look up for this. I like this drum and bass pack that I got with some new tone samples in there, and drum hits. It's got some shuffles already preset, so and it gives you that shuffle effect, so I don't have to. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put that there. It's kind of a cheap way to do it, but let's see what it sounds like. All right, cool. If that had any other percussions, I would pop it in there. Let's see. Percussion. Right click to insert a track, and then right click G to group it. All right, cool. That's good. Now let's load up a bass line. Add Serum 2, and we're just gonna make a bass from scratch. Let's go ahead and choose a random wavetable from the digital pack. Let's see. Let's go from the analog pack. And bring the pitch down to 2. I'm going to change my bend to plus. This gives it a little bit of a squelch. Remove the random. All right, so now it sounds kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and add a sub layer here. But learned this from Korax over the weekend. How do you reset this thing? This thing, I don't know, but I'm just going to go ahead and remove all that. There's got to be a way to just reset this. Okay, so zoom 4. Set my, oh, there's something. Right click and clear. Oh, clear all. Bam, he's the man. All right, so right click and clear in serum. Got my sub. Go to the, nope, the third harmonic. And make a little cowboy hat like them right now there in Texas. Nobody talks like that there, but by the way. What's up, Ben? Dude, how's your Jungle Bells? I posted my mix from my event on my SoundCloud. My guy can't speak. Huh? Yeah, there's a pencil sharpener right in there. Close this. Bring this sub down. 2. And let's go ahead and I won't do any FMing right now. Oh, that's dope, man. Yeah, our system was good too, bro. The bass was like, man, I miss that kind of bass to fucking shake your chest, you know? Let's leave that. Just make it a cheap one here. Let's go ahead and split the mid and the highs. Drop in some distortion more on the highs. Crunchy, 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 crunchy. I need crunchy bass lines. Factory OTT, which I go with it's kind of the same thing. Let's go with an eighth and do a pitch. Just a freaking super high pitch control, global main tuning. All right, so got that. So you can do one of two things here. We're just gonna make a new pattern, base 1, and I'm gonna do this in F sharp. And let's go ahead and look at this, and you can double click to load up the mixer again, and then you can click and drag to bring it over to your sounds. Let's see. And now I'm going to layer this with another sound of the same facet, but just wider with no sub. Bring the sub back down a bit. Make this unison. I'm going to clone this and make another version of this sound, but with different sounds here. Let's go with this. And go with a slower. Maybe just... And I'm going to put this on the end. Let's go to the piano roll. Let's hear this in the context of the track, but I will kind of cut this up a little bit. Let's hear it. Let's go this way. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine these. This is my baseline idea. Control G to make a new clip out of it. And it needs like a high end, right? Just make a new one. Make a little lead sound. Add another serum. Maybe just grab like a spectral, go to factory. Plucked. It's kind of cool. We cue this out. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
I'm becoming an artist.
Oh, you're making a face. Awesome. Ooh, let's add a compressor. Um, oh, you're gonna see clips. So you guys got great drum and bass over there, man. Great drum and bass. Ben, did you already move? If you're still there. Noise Smith, my homie. So now I'm gonna click and drag this sample, bring it to my synths. Let's see. Leave this alone for now. Let's go Stretch Pro. Create automation clip. That's hilarious. There's a lot of us out there. That's actually why I chose the name. It was actually one of my boys who was an electrician at the time. And so when I was like 18, he was like, "Dude, you should call yourself Diode," because I was a b-boy, you know, for like hardcore for like 8 years, and my name was Style Lord, and I don't know which way to go for like my drum and bass name, and my boy was an electrician at the time, like a new electrician. He's like, "Dude, you should name yourself Diode," and then the diode is, you know, what transmits electricity. So I went with that, and that's it. There's so many glitches with this new FL, man. Glitchy as hell. Look at this. I'm left clicking. I'm left clicking to open this thing up. And it's just playing the sound. What the hell? Oh, you know what? Let me take this off. There you go. I guess if you have to make sure the shift command is off, that's weird. All right. Oof, that's cool. There he goes. The one they call Quasi Science is up in the house. Shout out to you, homie. How you doing, bro? I'm just here making some neurotech kind of stuff, you know. And some beats. Let's open up my playlist. that bass is like. Yeah. Now I need like some backing, some drums, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna save this for now as diode. I don't even know what the hell to call it. This one, at the beach, huh? Living it up. What should I mean? I'm out too, bro. I'm out. I gotta go get ready to go. What do we call this one? Bouncing. Shout out to the quasi science. Go back to this. Yeah, so that was the basics of setting up FL Studio with the playlist, some kick snare, some drums, some bass, blah blah blah. Putting it into the mixer channel, side chaining, routing stuff, and that's pretty much it. So, Subminders, what's up, my homie? We gotta finish our track, bro. But I've gotta go. This was Let Me DNB on Saturdays. Did that even work? I don't think that worked at all because I'm not unclicked in here. This is Let Me DNB on Saturdays, Saturday morning. Shout out to my daughter Valerie, who's relaxing over here, about to get ready to go. Gonna go to a birthday party and go chill there. Hopefully eat some good food and then come back and watch some fights tonight. So appreciate you guys. For anybody who tuned in, this will be on the YouTube, and I'll cut it up a little bit so you can learn a little bit quicker. But yeah, this is just for those producers who know how to open up FL Studio and drag and drop stuff in, and they want to get to the next stage of just like production. Set it up this way just to make it a little bit faster so you can focus more on creativity versus the ingenuity of the track, which we all know takes a long ass motherfucking time. So this is your boy Super Daddy Diode. Radio EP drops this Friday. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace. Take care. Oh, the deadbeat was on. What's up, bro? Subminders, Deadbeat, Korax, Quasi Science, Sigil was out there for a little bit. I'm sure he's making some beats and bass now, but yeah, I'm out. Peace. We'll get there.